Hey guys, what's up? This is Mel, and I'm here to talk about the 100 Season 3 finale. That is episode 316, titled Perverse Instantiation Part 2, which premiered Thursday, May 19, 2016 on the CW, and today is June 1st. Sorry for the delay, but I actually feel a bit better with my voice, so I thought I would record now. So let's get started with a 15-minute clock this time, because there's a lot to talk about, and let's begin. So something new that we learned in the finale, or part 2 of the finale, I should say, is the fact that, well, basically, Clark gets a blood transfusion from Antari, who is brain dead, so that it allows for Clark to take the flame without dying like Emerson did. So she takes the flame, and then she gets like this overwhelming feeling like, I know what needs to be done. So then she takes the key so that she can go inside the City of Light to find the kill switch, all while doing that without Allie finding out. It turns out the flame kind of gives her a level of protection, or a level of invisibility within the City of Lights, because she sees a whole bunch of people went in there, like Jasper, but he walks by her not even realizing she's there. So I guess you kind of say that Clark is kind of under a cloak of invisibility type thing. But there's that. Also, while in the City of Lights, Clark is saved by Lexa, who she can see because she has the flame inside of her. So there's that. We also see Clark meeting Becca, the very first commander and the creator of Allie's code, as well as the City of Light code as well. We also learn in that final moment, Clark realizes that there is upcoming destruction on the Earth because of the fact that all the nuclear plants that caused the first nuclear apocalypse have started to melt down, giving everybody an estimation of 6 months left to live, with only 4% of Earth being survivable, I guess you can say. So in the end, Clark does use the kill switch, and she shuts down the City of Light. Everyone who has taken the key is now back to their original emotion feeling selves, and you can really see the difference it takes when you see that switch being turned back on in all the City of Light followers, especially when you instantly go from them being emotionless zombie soldiers to being who they were beforehand. So there's that. Now, while all this is happening for Clark, we are back at the Polis Tower, and we see, just before Clark went in, she managed to de-chip Abby by using the device that was meant for Antari, but since she's brain dead, there's no point. So so Clark uses it on Abby, knowing that she needs Abby's help to help her survive her trip into the City of Light. So basically, every Arcadian who has basically locked themselves in the top Polis Tower works on protecting Clark, as the army of chipped out soldiers is trying to get to them within the tower. And these people are scaling the outside walls of the tower. It's completely crazy what they will do without any emotion stopping them. So in the end, while everyone else is trying to protect Clark and dealing with all of these invaders, I guess you can call them, Abby and Murphy are designated on keeping Clark alive, and that is medically speaking, of course, trying to continue the flow of night blood to Clark, to the point that they had to cut open Antari's chest so they can physically pump her heart, so that, because the moment that Clark doesn't have any night blood in her, her system reacts to the flame inside of her. So that was their job. So basically, the barricade that all the Arcadians had enforced eventually breaks, causing all the the City Light chip key people, I don't know what to call them really, they break in, and then a fight ensues and all that. In the end, fight stops once Clark does the kill switch, and we see many reunions being done afterwards, and we see even Clark alluding to Bellamy that they didn't just save the world like he had thought they had done by destroying the City of Light. But in the end, though, we see Octavia killing Pike before she storms out. So there's that. Also, we see a bit of Arcadia. Now let's move on to that. During this whole thing, we get to see what happens in Arcadia with Monty, Raven, and Harper dealing up with a chipped up Jasper. They managed to knock him out and tie him up, and then the three of them are now focused on the code of Allie's code that they have back at the mainframe. Now, Raven manages to use the device that she created to get into Allie's code. And she actually sees coding for Clark being in the City of Light, but not being controlled by Allie. So they realize that she actually has the flame. So in the end, Raven helps give Clark a back door so that she can find the kill switch faster. And then we also see for those three, Clark using the kill switch through Jasper when he actually reacts to not having the City of Light controlling him anymore. So he breaks down. He really gets his apologies out, especially to Monty, and they actually get to hug it out. So there's that. So what was the most shocking moment of the episode? For me, it definitely has to be the fact that there is a meltdown with all the nuclear plants, leaving the Earth with only 6 months left to live. It was very surprising. It also made sense why we needed to see Allie on the Ark, because from the Ark, then you could see all the nuclear hotspots that are happening around the Earth, like you did the first time 97 years ago. So it was very surprising that this was what was driving Allie to get everyone into the City of Light. This is her reason for forcing everybody into this code. And it wasn't just because she wanted more power, but in her own twisted mind, doing that was meant to save everyone when the inevitable happened and the Earth became inhabitable again. So it's really crazy and it's really surprising. But now I'm worried that with this level of a problem they have to deal with now, I feel like they've backed themselves in a corner. And I'll get right back to that into prediction, so we'll move right on. So what were the top 3 favorite moments of the episode for me? First one, guys, can you guess it? It's Bellamy and Clark. There's so many different aspects of Bellamy and Clark that I really like in this episode. The first one being that they believe in each other. Fantastic to see them at that point again. The fact as well, the comfort that they had in each other, especially with Clark, just as she's about to go into the City of Light or take the flame, she reaches out for Bellamy's hand, and he takes it without hesitation. Just that hand holding is a comfort level right there. Also the fact when he tries to make jokes to lighten the situation for Clark when she's already undergoing this stress level, which is really fantastic. He can instantly tell, once again, what she needed, and he gave it to her, which is fantastic. Also the fact that she tells him first about the fact that they have a new problem. She doesn't go into details what it is, but she tells him first that they have a new problem. And that's it. And I just really like that in the end, they always go to each other first when given the situation. Like if they have the option, like pretty much everyone they knew was in that room. Anyone they would go to was in that room, and yet they chose to go to each other for a level of, for first, basically. So moving on though, a second favorite moment is the fact that we did get to see Lexa again, and her introduction back into the scene was just fantastic. She was a badass. She was just jumping in, swords pulled, ready to take on the world and basically protect Clark the best way. Clark was swarmed by all these chipped out people, and Lexa just came in guns blazing, theoretically speaking, since she had swords, and she just took them all down without even hesitation, and which was fantastic because the only time we've actually ever seen Lexa in action was during that one-on-one fight with Rowan back in 304. So it was great to see Lexa back, and it was great to see her back at full force like this. Although is it her choice to stay in the grounder gear, or was it just because she felt comfortable in that and opposed to the street clothes that we are used to? Also, the fact it was fantastic to see it was Lexa in her grounder gear, her commander gear, I guess you can, and then it was Clark back in her delinquent gear. That is what I also liked as well. So it just showing the complete contrast between the two worlds they originally came from and then coming together like this was just fantastic to see, and I just stopped my timer. Crap. Stupid hands. Anyways, next favorite moment though, Jasper and Monty. The fact that they had a proper reunion, the hug and the apology was just fantastic. Previously we had that, but it got tainted because of the fact that Jasper was chipped and he was faking it the whole time. So it was great to see them actually reconciling with one another, and I'm hoping that they can get back to the brotherhood that they've had in the previous 2 seasons, because this whole season Jasper was pretty much angry at Monty for his part in Maya's death. So hopefully they've come back to being the brothers that they've grown up to be with each other. So there's that. Another favorite moment, Octavia killed Pike. The way she did, I was completely surprised. Like, I thought she'd do, she kind of showed, she kind of tried to kill Pike indirectly by weakening him so that the invaders could get at him and kill him that way. But then when it came down to it, when they won the fight against Allie, and it was the calm after the storm, I guess you can say it were. I think I got that wrong. But when he comes to check on him, she just kills him. It's like, you can really tell that she wasn't going to stop, and so she got her revenge for Lincoln. And I was just, whoa. And then she storms off the way she did, and no one just, like, batted an eye or anything. No one did. Everyone was just shocked. It was just like, wow. But at least Octavia kept her word. She was going to kill him, and she did. And yeah, she had to wait, but at least she killed him when she knew everyone she cared for was safe. So there's that. Last favorite moment I want to mention. Clark thanking Murphy for his help. Totally unexpected, just from where they originally started back in season 1. But I love the fact that she acknowledged that Murphy played a huge part in keeping her alive. I'm glad she acknowledged that. Especially in this season, you kind of see them more on the same page, in a sense. So there's that. And then immediately after that, we got Murphy's reunion with Imori. So that was just great. So moving on, top 3 peeved moments. I really only had the one. And it was the fact that Clark took her sweet-ass time to pull the damn switch to kill Allie. I mean, really? I mean, yeah, it might not seem like it was a whole big deal of time in the City of Light, but you got invaders coming to attack you. You're pretty much in the most vulnerable state possible in the battlefield, and yet you take your sweet time just to pull the switch that you know you were going to pull at the very end of it. So it's like, really? Really? Also, question though, or I'll go back to that in a few moments. So moving on, what moment will I remember most to look back on this episode? City of Light is destroyed. The fact that we are now going to have a nuclear apocalypse on our hands in 6 months' time that we got to worry about. So there's that. Okay, random questions before I forget the question I just thought of. Okay, so if Clark pulled the switch to kill the City of Light, was it just Allie's version 1 that she killed, or did she also destroy the City of Light that was created by the flame? So, like, I'm just wondering if Clark pulled the switch, then I could see Allie disappearing from that Polaris setting. But could she still talk to Becca while she still had the flame in her head? Because then if she could still talk to Becca, she can get more information on what's happening with all the nuclear power plants and all that. Or did that kill switch kill both the key to the City of Light as well as the flame of all the commanders? I'm just wondering if Becca's still alive. I know Allie's not alive anymore, technically speaking, but is Becca still, quote-unquote, alive after that kill switch was pulled, or what? So, moving on to the questions I had. Another one is, if Earth is on the verge of another nuclear apocalypse, what hope do our heroes have for surviving when, according to Allie, there's only 4% of Earth that will survive this nuclear apocalypse? How are they going to find that 4%? What is to come for this new bad? Because I really find, what are the odds of them actually stopping another nuclear apocalypse when it's already kind of on the verge of happening already? What are the odds of that happening? And I can feel that being the next bad, the next evil they have to face for season 4. But then that's kind of like setting it up for a series finale, which I hate to think about already. But like with something like that happening in the finale, when it comes down to it, it's either they stop it and they are alive, or they don't stop it and they're all dead because of it. So it's like I don't know. It's like they kind of back themselves in a corner, because then if they do overcome this, what is going to top it in season 5? That's my worry now. So I'll get back to that in predictions as well. The next question, who will be the new commander of the 12 clans? Do you think Luna will come out and step up, or do you think it's going to be someone else who takes the stand and they're not going to use the flame anymore? Or Maybe there's another Nightblood out there that they're not aware of. What do you guys think about that? Next question. Is King Rowan still alive? We didn't see him in part 2. Part 1, he was shot, but we don't know where exactly he was shot. We just know that he went down. So is he alive? Could he still be alive? And I hope he is. I hope we see him being an ally towards Arcadia, since they did help him out a few times, but there's that. So moving on to predictions very quickly. According to the CW upfronts that happened this month, or back in May, sorry. Season 4 is, again, mid-season return, so it's probably January 2017 that we're not going to see Season 4 starting up like that. So there's that. It's nothing really new, since 2 out of the 3 seasons have been mid-season returns for us, so there's that. Overall, like Ali warned, there is an upcoming nuclear apocalypse happening. They have roughly 6 months time before it implodes on them. But again, have the writers backed our characters in a corner with this massive scenario that's going with them. So again, I'm worried about whether they're setting it up for a series finale. I hope not. I really want this to go for as long as possible. I want to see more of this world that they've created, as well as these characters that I've come to love very much. So hopefully they find a way to have them avert this nuclear apocalypse and make it as realistic as they can in this universe they've created. So there's that. Another thing, Octavia avenged Lincoln by killing Pike. So what is it that's next for her? Is she going to pull away from Arcadia, especially the delinquents? Or is she going to join Indra and kind of go from there and try to find a grounder clan that will accept them? Will she go back to Luna? Who knows? It seems Octavia is going to be her next thing now, is dealing life without Lincoln, since now she has no big war to fight, as she's taken on the philosophy of warriors don't mourn those they've lost until after the war has been won type thing. So there's that. Another question, will Clark return home to Arcadia? I hope so. I really do. It'll be interesting. I really hope we get to see how they transition from how they transition, kind of like what we didn't get to see between season 2 and season 3. We never got to see them transition between what happened in Mount Weather to where we got to in the season 3 premiere. I hope we get to see that type of transition now instead of just a time jump. But hopefully Clark is included in all that. Hopefully she returns back to Arcadia. We didn't actually get to see her in Arcadia and see how the place has grown in those 3 months she was gone. So hopefully we see that. Also, again, who do you think the new commander of the 12 clans will be? Is Arcadia still the 13th clan? Is Luna going to be considered? Is someone else going to take the throne? What do you think about that? Also, I thought I'd like to share a little scare a coworker of mine gave to me the other day. And maybe you guys can find some proof. Maybe you can help ease my mind about this. But she came into work telling me that Clark and Kane were leaving the show. And I was freaking out because I had like an hour left of my shift and I can't check my phone or anything like that. So when I came home, I checked, and it turns out that Eliza Taylor, who plays Clark, got cast to be on a new series called Thumper. Apparently this was news back in April. And so that had me wondering if, okay, does that mean Clark's leaving the show? But then I went on the 100 wiki page. Thank you, website. I have a screenshot of, I'll include it on the screen, hopefully, which basically has the wiki. I don't know how accurate it is, but they still list everybody as the main cast, minus Lincoln, of course. So we still have Clark, still have Kane. But for that hour I was at work, I was freaking out. But it looks like, based according to Jaha, aka Isaiah Washington, they're not going to start filming until after San Diego Comic-Con. So I don't think we're going to get any new footage for that panel. But they're going to start shooting later because of mid-season return. So there is that. But if anyone else can tell me anything about this new series Thumper. I couldn't find anything as to what network it's going to be on, when it's going to be released, how many episodes. I have a feeling that she's going to be filming that before she comes back to season 4 for filming. So there's not really a lot up for Thumper except for a very vague description of who she plays. So yeah, so just let me know in the comments below if you guys find anything about that. And that's about it. So thank you guys for tuning in. But you know the drill. Comment below if you have any more thoughts, theories, predictions about what you think is going to come in season 4, or what you thought about the finale in general. I'd love to hear about it. Also, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and check out my other videos if you haven't done so already. If you want to check out my Tumblr page, I'm behind on that though, but link for that is down below. It'll eventually all be updated with everything related to the episode and the series, like promos, sneak peeks, quotes, gifs, synopses, and all that stuff, as well as any casting news that I come across. I'll reblog it there too, so go check that out. What else? Also, I plan on doing another video for the 100, and that is basically going to tell you the top 5 favorite moments that I've had this season. Which reminds me, I have my list to go to, but I'll just include that in that video, so just go check that out to see if the finale made it in my top 5 in any case as well though, but pretty sure it did on some level. I forgot to include it on my notes, so now I'm spacing on where I'm going to put it. Yeah, so that should be up soon. I'm also going to do a video about the CW upfronts like I did last year, so go stay tuned for that. So until those 2 come out, this is Mel. Wishing you all a great day, great week wherever you are, and have a great day. Bye for now.